So if everything goes swimmingly well for us, we could be looking at two wells, one on each of our blocks in that next sort of 2-year time horizon, which would be an amazing outcome.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Challenger Energy CEO Eytan Uliel. Eytan, very good to speak with you. You're out with your interim results last week. Could you take us through some of the highlights of the first 6 months?
Hi, morning. Nice to be here as always. It was a good 6 months. We did all the things that we said we were going to do during that 6 months. I'm sure we'll talk about some of them in more detail, but the Area Off One program in Uruguay continues as planned. We did a lot of technical work on Area Off Three, which we've now completed, so that allowed us to move forward with that. We finalized the sale of our business in Trinidad, and we kept running the show on a lean basis. So we have a very healthy cash position as we look forward. As I say, I'm sure we'll go through each of those in some detail, but it was a great 6 months to start the year. Did exactly what we said we were going to do, and everything is looking good going forward from here.
Well, let's start with Area Off One because you've handed over operatorship to Chevron. How's that partnership working day to day, and what should investors expect next?
Yeah, so we completed the farm out with Chevron at the end of last year. And so the first 6 months of this year was characterized by the handover of operatorship. That partnership is going fantastically well. Chevron, we thought long and hard about who would be our partner on this block. They are the right choice for us. They're doing great work. They're a very good partner to have. And the thing we're working towards is the commencement of 3D seismic acquisition, which as we've said, we hope will commence by the end of this year. Everything's ready to go, barring or pending, I should say, an environmental permit from the Uruguayan Ministry of Environment to the seismic vendors to get going. So that's what shareholders and the market can look forward to, the permit being issued and the seismic boat being in the water by the end of the year. That's a hugely value-adding piece of work to Area Off One, which we hope is the precursor to the drilling of a well shortly after the seismic is finished.
You've just finished the first phase of work on Area Off Three and lodged a farm out. What makes this block attractive to potential partners?
So Area Off Three is our second block in Uruguay. Different kind of play concept to Area Off One, shallower water, slightly shallower reservoir, but essentially we had to do some technical work. That was our work commitment. That technical work wrapped up. It was reprocessing and interpreting of existing 3D seismic data, supplemented by a range of other geotechnical, geochemical studies. And we were very pleased with the results. Ultimately, thus far, we've identified two material prospects. We've named them. Benteveo was one, and the other one is Amalia. That was a legacy prospect. We've done volumetrics on those. Both of those are commercial, we believe, based on the water depths and the reservoir depths and the volumes. In aggregate, we're looking at about 380 million barrels recoverable, estimated recoverable. And in a good case, it could be up to about 1 billion barrels. So on any metric, these are material prospects. And that's what we think will be attractive. As with Area Off One, we took our time. We did what I believe is very high quality work that will withstand the scrutiny of industry majors and national oil company types looking at this, and that's what we're now out shopping to the market, as it were. We kicked off a farm out process. We've seen good initial interest. People are starting to look at the data, going through the data room, and as we said, we're hoping we'll get some proposals in by the end of the year and early next year. In the first quarter, we'd like to be in a position to pick a partner and move forward with this block.
You've now fully exited Trinidad and Tobago. How does this sharpen your focus and simplify operations going forward?
Well, it greatly simplifies operations. I mean, Trinidad and Tobago was producing assets. So we had a large team of people. We had a lot of daily things that we had to do. That's all gone. All the associated risk, responsibility, liabilities, exposures, all of that is now not part of our daily operations. We've added some cash to our balance sheet from the completion of the sale, but it's the word you use, focus. Our assets in Uruguay are world class, and we've established that both have great prospects. One we've now farmed out, the other we're looking to do. We are fully committed to those, and without having to deal with, if you like, the distraction of operations in Trinidad, we are now fully focused on these assets in Uruguay and how to make the most of them over the next 6 to 12 months.
Eytan, you've said Challenger is fully funded into 2027. How does that financial position shape your ability to deliver on your upcoming plans?
Well, we can deliver on everything. We don't need to go back to the market. We don't need to raise money. We received a big cash infusion when we completed our farm out with Chevron. We are very lean in our operations, and all of the expenses, by and large, on Area Off 1 are carried by Chevron under our agreement with them. We finished all of our technical work on Area Off 3 and paid for that. So apart from, bits and pieces here and there, fundamentally everything we need to do over the next 12, 18, 24 months is low cost. Our operating cost is low, and we have a very healthy cash balance. So we can deliver. It's now up to us to do the things we've said. I hope at some point people who watch this and shareholders and regular followers of the company will start to see that we now have established a pretty good pattern over the last 4 or 5 years of doing everything we said we were going to do. Sometimes it takes a bit longer, sometimes it goes a bit quicker, but we're very clear on what we're going to do over the next 12 to 18 months, and we've got the money to do it. And now it's about getting out and getting it done.
Well, looking ahead to the next 12 to 18 months, Eytan, what are the key milestones investors should keep an eye on as you advance the Uruguay projects?
Well, in terms of Area Off 1, hopefully very soon we will see a permit issued to enable 3D seismic to commence. That will mean you'll see a boat in the water and 3D seismic by the end of the year. It will take 3 to 6 months for the acquisition to occur. Then there's processing and interpretation, and all of that leads, hopefully, towards the end of next year, a decision on drilling of a well. That is a decision Chevron as the operator will take, but we hope it's a positive one. As far as Area Off 3 is concerned, we've completed the technical work phase 1, started the farm out. So hopefully early next year, we'll be able to say somewhat, so this is the person we've chosen as our partner for this. And then there will be a second phase of technical work. What maybe people don't fully appreciate is with Area Off 3, there is actually a large amount of historic 3D seismic data. We only took a small portion of that and analyzed that, largely cost-driven. It's very expensive to do this work. And the portion that we looked at gave us very good results, but there's still quite a bit of running room on the block, things you can look at. There's evidence of some really interesting play types in the north of the block. So ideally, what people can look forward to is farm out process successfully completed, leading to a new partner on the block, leading to a next round of technical work to sort of round out the technical work we've already done, and that will lead to a well drilling decision as well. So if everything goes swimmingly well for us, we could be looking at 2 wells, 1 on each of our blocks in that next sort of 2-year time horizon, which would be an amazing outcome.
Eytan, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated on your progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thanks as always. Bye.
Eytan Uliel, CEO of Challenger Energy.